Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my empties, declutters, and pans for the month of February. So I'm going to be talking you through all of the products that I finished up, any products that are not working for me that I just need to move out of my collection, and then I like to end the video on a high note by showing you any products that I have hit pan on. So if that sounds good and you would like to see some of the progress I've been making through the products in my collection, then just keep on watching. I will say I've been wearing this makeup all day. I did just try to refresh it a little bit, but if I look crusty and tired, it's because I am. Also, if you could only see the array of beverages I have in front of me, I've got my water bottle, I've got the remnants of a McDonald's Diet Coke, and I also made myself a hot chocolate with marshmallows because it's just been that kind of day. You know what I mean? Ooh, my mug matches my nails. That's kind of cute. So I'm gonna start with the empties. No particular order. I'm just picking things out of the box where I throw all of my empties throughout the month, and I'll give you hopefully short and sweet reviews of the products and let you know whether I purchased them myself, whether they were gifted to me, and whether or not I would repurchase them. So I'll start with hair care and then move to skincare and then the makeup empties. So starting off strong with another dry shampoo empty. This is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day dry shampoo. I think I actually finished a mini one of these in last month's video. This month I finished the full size, which is kind of wild that I'm going through that much dry shampoo in a month. I didn't realize I was using it at the rate that I was, but I did finish up an entire full size of this dry shampoo. I talked about in my January Empties, Declutters, and Pans video. I do think it's a really nice dry shampoo, but again, at the rate that I'm using it, I don't know if I could justify the price point. I think it's like $32 or something like that, and I don't know that I could recommend it to you all in good faith knowing how much money it costs. I will say I have since repurchased a Living Proof dry shampoo, not this one, but I purchased the advanced version of this, which I think works a tiny bit better, and I did pay the full price for it, but it hurt my soul a little bit because I know I'm just gonna fly through that bottle. So it is a good dry shampoo. I think the advanced version works even better, but I'm not sure if I would say it's worth the price point. Next up, we have the Vegamour Grow Revitalizing Shampoo, and in my last video from last month, I had finished the Vegamour Grow dry shampoo, but I also have the shampoo and the conditioner. Still working on the conditioner, that one's still in my shower, but I did finish up the shampoo version. Again, I talked about last month that I feel like the Grow line from Vegamour does make a difference, especially around like my hairline. You might notice I've got some baby hairs coming in. They're always showing up on camera when I don't necessarily want to see them, but it is, I guess, a good sign that my hair is growing and responding to the kind of patented ingredient that's in the Vegamour products. So I like that it's built into your shampoo and conditioner already because you don't have to add an extra step. The shampoo smells just like the dry shampoo does. It's very citrusy and fresh and uplifting, and I really, really love the smell. The only thing that I would say about this is that it left my fine hair feeling a little bit too weighed down for my taste. My hair is really easily weighed down because it's so fine, and so I tend to go for more of a volumizing type shampoo, and this is not that. It's not overly moisturizing. I think just because of my hair type, it felt that way. So this was gifted to me. I'm not sure if I would repurchase it again. Maybe down the line, if I feel like I want to see some more hair growth coming through, I might repurchase the Vegamour lineup with the shampoo, conditioner, and dry shampoo just so I can not have to build in an extra like serum or anything into my routine. But for now, I'm happy that I've been able to try the products. I'm still working through the conditioner, as I said, and just gonna hold off on repurchasing for the next little bit. Watch me have like a hot chocolate stash throughout the rest of this video. I'm very hyper aware of that now every time I take a sip of my drink. Finally, for the hair care empties, I finished up what is my favorite hairspray of all time. It's the Moroccan Oil Luminous Hairspray in the medium finish. This is a fantastic hairspray if you like your hair to hold, but you don't like to feel a crunch. I think they do have a harder hold version of this, but I have always purchased the medium because it is just weightless. It even says that on the bottle, a weightless natural look with no sticky residue. And I think it really does live up to that claim because it doesn't weigh my hair down. It's not crunchy. I can still kind of run my fingers through my hair. But my curls, if I curl my hair, will hold, especially if I spray it on before curling my hair and then a little bit after I'm finished styling. I really like the level of hold on this, and also it smells the best of any hairspray in the world, I'm pretty sure. It's basically like a really warm, sensuous perfume, like very luxe, very expensive smelling perfume. And to me, that makes it worth the price. I will say I decided to try a different hairspray this time after I finished this. I ran out to my grocery store actually and just picked up a random one, and I don't like it as much. So I think when I run through that one, I will be repurchasing this for sure. This is probably like my third or fourth bottle of this. I've used it for years since I was in college. It's one of those products that I just continue to come back to because I like the way it works and I really like the experience of using it, even though it does have that slightly pricier price tag. Sometimes you can find it on sale, and that's what I try to do when I can, but I definitely think it's worth the money if you have a little extra money to spend on your hairspray. And I will say it takes me a really long time to get through an entire bottle. So this is the 10-ounce bottle, and I would say I've had this for over a year, probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. So that tells you how long it's lasted me, which does make the price tag a little bit more worth it as well. Next up, I have quite a few skincare empties, and a few of these are my Holy Grail products. So I finished up another bottle of the La Roche-Posay Toleraine Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. This is a godsend. If you have dry skin, and especially in the winter time, I just have to be so careful with not stripping my skin, and this is a cleanser that never leaves my skin feeling dry. In fact, it leaves my skin feeling softer and more hydrated, I would say. I use this as my second cleanse, so after I've removed my makeup and just want to cleanse my bare skin. But I have to say, I have been lazy before and just used this to try and remove my makeup, and it does work for that. It just takes a little bit more effort. But if you have dry skin and you're looking for something that leaves your skin feeling clean but not completely dry or stripped, and is very, very gentle if you have any kind of sensitivity, any active irritation or anything like that, I think you would love this. This is probably my second or third bottle, would repurchase in a heartbeat. I haven't repurchased yet because I've been trying to work through my back stock of skincare products that I've been collecting basically since I started my Instagram. But when I finish my current cleanser, you can bet I will be buying this one again. I should say it's soap-free, sulfate-free, and fragrance-free, and it also has ceramides in it. So that's going to be really calming and help to kind of maintain your skin barrier if you are dealing with super dry skin or compromised skin barrier or, like I said, irritation or anything like that. Next, I finished up the Pharmacy Clearly Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. This is the fragrance-free version of Pharmacy's cleansing balms. They have a bunch of different scents and they come out with different seasonal ones. But because I just have such sensitive skin, if there's a fragrance-free option for a product, I'll often pick that one, even though I don't have any known allergies or sensitivities to fragrance. I just figure, why not be on the safe side, right? Cover all my bases. And this is a really nice, basic option for a cleansing balm. Again, I have dry skin, so I love a cleansing balm for removing my makeup because it just doesn't feel like it's stripping my skin completely. So I feel like I would always just rather go for a cleansing balm than other types of makeup removal. The one downside is that I do go through them pretty quickly. This was actually gifted to me a really, really long time ago, and I think I would repurchase it, but it would need to be on sale because at the end of the day, it's a pretty basic cleansing balm, and you can get fragrance-free cleansing balms that do essentially the same thing from brands like Neutrogena and e.l.f. I've used both of those before. So while this one was really nice and it did the job perfectly, I'm not sure I would pay full price for it again. I think it does have maybe some special ingredients that the drugstore brands don't. Like this one has moringa extract, and I'm not sure if the ones from the drugstore include that one. Generally, I would say if you're on a budget and you're looking for a basic, sensitive skin safe, fragrance-free cleansing balm, you could find one at the drugstore for cheaper. On the topic of makeup removal, I finished up a Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I got the pink one, which means it's supposed to be safe for sensitive skin. This, again, it's not my preferred way of removing makeup, but it does come in handy for when I'm making Instagram and YouTube content, specifically to wipe off swatches when I'm making swatch videos or, you know, taking swatches for photos and things. Or I will use it to clean up under my eyes if I'm working on an eye look. And just little things like that. So I'm not using it in the way that I think most people do, which is to remove all of their makeup. I have done that before. But I just find that even something like this, which says it's safe for sensitive skin, sometimes I do get a little irritated by, my eyes sting and that kind of thing. But if you like a micellar water or you need to use a micellar water for some reason, I think this is a good one. If you're looking for a micellar water, I think the Garnier one is a good choice. Then another one of my absolute holy grail products, I finished up another one of the Skin Fix Barrier Plus Triple Lipid Peptide Creams. This is a tried and true in my skincare lineup, especially in the winter, and January and February have been especially difficult for my skin and my skin barrier, and I just know that I can trust this. It's never done me wrong, even when I've had allergic reactions on my face or significant skin barrier damage on my face. It's just always comforting and nourishing. It's a really thick cream, and I just love it. And it is very expensive, which is a little bit frustrating for how quickly I seem to go through it because my skin is just so incredibly dry. I think I showed this in a previous video, but they do have a refill system now, so you can kind of open up the packaging and take out the little cartridge that the product comes in, and you can just buy the cartridge and keep the outer shell, which is nice to reduce waste, but unfortunately it doesn't really save you any money. So if anyone knows of a good, affordable dupe, I guess, for this cream, please let me know, because I would be very excited to learn of it and to try it, because it does get really expensive, but I always get to a point, it seems like, where I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just buy it again because my skin loves it. Another one where it's like maybe during a Sephora sale or on the Skin Fix website, if they ever have a sale, snap it up. I try so hard not to buy it full price. Let me actually see what the full price of this is. Oof, okay. That hurts. It does come in 3 sizes now. So if you get the 50 ml, which is what I have, it's $54. Yikes. If you get the refill, which is just the cartridge, it's $45. Ooh, still. They have a value size, which is 3.04 ounces and 90 milliliters for $78. And then they have a mini, which is half an ounce and 15 mils for $20. Do you know how quickly I would fly through that mini size? So maybe a project for this year is to find something comparable to this in a little bit more of a reasonable price bracket, because I can't be shelling out $54 every few months on my moisturizer at this point in my life. Maybe one day, but for right now, I can't really justify that. So do let me know if you know of a similar product to this for less money. My skin and my wallet would all be so very grateful to you. I finished up a nail polish remover, which is like, I don't really know if that counts as skincare, but I figured I would just throw it in here. This is actually 100% acetone, which I don't typically buy, but there was a time when I was doing a lot of gel nails at home. I've since stopped doing gel nails because my nails just got too weak, and I don't think I would use pure acetone on them every time I'm changing my nail polish these days. But I wanted to use this one up and get it out before I purchased a new one. So this is just from the Up and Up brand, which is Target's own brand. Works well. I mean, 100% acetone always, I feel like, works pretty well with removing regular nail polish, which is pretty much all I wear these days, aside from the occasional press-on. Okay, so let's now move on to some makeup empties. I actually have 2 makeup empties this month, which is pretty exciting for me because, I don't know, makeup empties are the slowest for me to get through in comparison to my hair care and my body care and skincare and all that. So when it comes to mascaras, I am typically pretty good about giving them a 3-month life and then tossing them. I wear contact lenses. I've had my fair share of eye infections and I just don't really mess around with that stuff anymore. But this one somehow snuck by for longer than it should have. So this is the Tartelette Tubing Mascara from Tarte. And I purchased this back end of October or maybe beginning of November. So that's too long to be using a mascara, in my opinion, just because I have sensitive eyes anyway. So I'm finally throwing it out. And you know what? I felt like this was a really nice tubing mascara. I am a person who does have issues with mascara smudging on me, typically up on my brow bone because my eyes are a little bit hooded, but also underneath on my concealer because I wear more hydrating concealers. So that's a real kind of issue that I've tried to tackle over the past several months, is finding mascaras that don't smudge on me. And this one has a pretty good wear time because it is a tubing mascara formula. Of the tubing mascaras that I know of, I feel like this one also was pretty volumizing. I think tubing mascaras sometimes just give you a lot of definition and length, but I like a big lash, so I like volume. So if you are looking for a tubing mascara that does do a bit of volumizing, I would recommend this one. I don't think that it acts like a typical tubing mascara though, in that it doesn't really just come off with water. Like, it does take some scrubbing like it would with a traditional or a waterproof mascara to remove all the mascara from your eyelashes. That doesn't really bother me, but if you use tubing mascaras specifically to avoid having to rub your cleanser into your eye area, then this one might not be the one for you. I have since purchased the Thrive Cosmetics tubing mascara, which I've never tried before, but everybody always recommends to me, so I'm looking forward to trying that one out. Fingers crossed it doesn't smudge. I love my Bite Beauty Upswing. I'm on my last tube of that because Bite Beauty no longer exists. The business unfortunately closed, but that one does smudge on me a bit. So I'm in the market for smudge-free mascaras. If you have any recommendations, please put them down in a comment below. I think I would definitely repurchase this. I got it on a good sale at Ulta, and I would wait and buy it on sale again because it is Tarte, so it's a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit more money than I want to pay for a mascara. Tubing, but doesn't wash off just with water, does give you a little bit of volume and minimal smudging. So this next one you would have already seen if you saw my, what video was it? My February Project 10 Pan update, I believe. I finished up my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation, which is really exciting to get a foundation out of my collection. This is actually only a mini bottle, and it took me a while, like a year and a half plus to get through. I've really been going hard using it every day since I put it into my Project 10 Pan at the beginning of the year. And you'll see in the cutaway, there's quite a bit of product stuck around the sides, and I had done everything within my power to get that product out, and I can't get any more product out, so I'm counting it as an empty. And I'm excited to move this out of my collection, but I kept it in my empties box because I did technically finish it in February. So it is counting toward my February empties. If you are wondering, I wear the shade 4.5 for reference. and I would absolutely repurchase this again in the future. It's a really nice foundation. It's pretty matte for me. I think for most people it'd be considered like a demi matte. It doesn't mattify all the way down. Maybe it's more like a satin, but it sits really beautifully on the skin. I like to pair it with a glowy primer and apply with a sponge just to get a little bit more of a hydrated look from it. But I think if you have oily skin, you would also like this because it does have a little bit more of that matte texture. But it doesn't look cakey or heavy. It just kind of smooths over the skin and looks really seamless. It's a classic for a reason. So I will miss having it in my collection, but down the road, if I'm still really missing it, I would 100% repurchase. So those were all my empties. I've got 2 declutters this month. Another one that I talked about in my February Project 10 pan update is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I said in that video I was gonna give this another go this month and see if I still noticed that I was having the same issues with my eyeshadow creasing and sliding around. Spoiler alert, I was. So many creases in my eyeshadow when I use this, and I don't know if my eyelids are just resistant to it. Maybe it's expired. It does seem like it's kind of separated within the tube, but the comments on that video were pretty much unanimously like, if something's not working for you, go ahead and move it out. And I don't even think I want to rehome this. Like, I don't think I want to give this to anybody because of the way that it's separating. It's kind of gross. So it must be expired or a bad batch or something, but this was not doing me any favors as an eyeshadow primer. So that is kind of a spoiler for my next Project 10 pan update, but you will see what I'm gonna roll in instead. And for now, I am just getting this out of my collection because it's not working for me. So that is a declutter. The other declutter I have is actually really sad because I liked the way that this product performed. I was gifted this as a sample in exchange for review, and it's the Rose Inc Solar Power Luminous SPF 30 Serum. So this is actually a new launch from Rose Inc. From their skincare side. They do skincare and makeup. But I actually thought this was such an innovative and cool idea for a product. It's basically an SPF, but it's in a serum form. So it's very lightweight, it absorbs into the skin and layers beautifully underneath of makeup. I felt like when I wore this, my foundation looked stunningly flawless by the end of the day. Unfortunately though, it broke me out really badly. I do think I have some sort of a sensitivity to some sunscreen products. This is zinc oxide 14%, and I'm not sure if maybe that was the issue or something else about the formulation just really didn't agree with my skin. So I can't use this, but if you can use it, I would recommend it to you just because of the way that it wore under makeup. And because it's such a good idea for another way of wearing SPF without feeling like you have, you know, a thick or greasy layer. This just didn't jive well with my skin at all. I might actually try to rehome this one, but my fear is that if I give it to somebody else and I got a bad batch, they have an allergic reaction, then it would be my fault. So I don't know, maybe I'll give it to my mom or something. Someone I know won't be mad at me. So yeah, it didn't work for me. But I have to say, Rose Inc. couldn't have been nicer about it. They reached out to me via email after I posted my review saying that unfortunately I had a bad reaction. And they were just lovely. They were like, you know, we really want to know more about your reaction if you don't mind sharing, because we've put our products through extensive testing and we want to make sure that they're safe for sensitive skin, because that was one of the claims of the product. They offered me a discount on their site. Like, they were really very nice, attentive, and prompt with their response. So no shade against Rose Inc. whatsoever. It's just me and my crazy skin not getting along with certain products that have sunscreen in them. Maybe one day I'll figure out what the culprit is, but until then, I'm just gonna have to say goodbye to this little sample. Okay, so those were my empties and declutters, which means it's time for my favorite part, which is my pans. I hit 2 pans this month, And if you've been keeping up with my videos, you probably know which pans they are. So if you think you know which two pans they are, pause the video and write it down in the comment below. But both of these pans actually happened while I was filming, which was kind of fun. It was like a live panning situation. So another spoiler for my Project 10 pan update, if you want to click away and not know. But I did hit pan in my Glossier Stretch Concealer, which means I will soon be rolling in a different concealer to work on. But I knew I was getting close to hitting pan, but I didn't think I was as close as I was. I ended up using a brush in this concealer when I was working on an eye look and I wanted a little bit of precision with where I was placing the concealer. And I think that was the trick to getting me to the bottom. So I will go ahead and show you what this is looking like. So I've continued to use it since I hit the pan, and now the pan is looking pretty sizable, but there's obviously tons of product left in here. So I'm gonna have this concealer in my collection for a while yet. But hitting pan was just a really exciting milestone for my Project 10 pan, and also because I think this is the oldest concealer in my collection. So one that I really wanted to focus on and get a bunch of use out of. For reference, I wear the shade G11. And then the other pan came from my Vive Modern Essentials palette. I had been using the shade So Shy as a lid setting shade to set my primer, and I continued using it again after I hit the pan. So now the pan is pretty sizable in here as well. I had a significant dip in this when I started the year, so I kind of just wanted to pull it out and use it every time I did my eyeshadow to see if I could hit pan. And now I know just how deep these Vive pans are. There's a ton of product in each of these pans, so really exciting to have made my way down to the bottom of this one. I kind of do that with my eyeshadow palettes. I rotate through and use all the lid setting shades, and honestly, those are some of the easiest shades to hit pan on, and those are the majority of the pans that I have in my eyeshadow collection. It's not a coincidence, but still, a pan is a pan, and I'm proud of myself for hitting an eyeshadow pan because my eyeshadow collection is huge and the amount of eyeshadows that I actually have pan in is tiny. So I will absolutely take that as a win. Okay, so that is everything this month. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the products that I have been trying, working on, working through, moving out. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really helps out my channel. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. My next video should be up in the next couple of days, and I think it will also be a kind of February wrap-up panning update type of video, so look out for that. I am gonna go microwave what's left of my hot chocolate and watch some TV and chill for the rest of the evening. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!